the city of Birmingham. The events have started today, and we are hoping that Team Nigeria can bring home so many gold, silver, and bronze medals. The Nigeria Olympic Committee has insisted that Ese Brume and Toby Amuson are being sponsored by the federal government of Nigeria. And Manchester United legend blasts Barcelona for the way they are acting, and especially for the way they are treating one of their player, Frankie de Jong. Good morning, beautiful sports people. Welcome to Sports Fiesta. It is live on 90.7 KUFM, Benin City. My name is Saliu Ibrahim, but they call me the Sports Ibracadabra because I bring magic to sports presentation and analysis. I've got Adewale Akindano and Danny the analyst joining me on the show this morning. Guys, welcome. Well, last night we watched the opening ceremony of Birmingham 2022 Commonwealth Games, and it was spectacular. It evokes the feelings we had when we watched the opening ceremony of the London 2012 Olympic Games. Yes, it is the same country, but London, a different city, the capital of England, the capital of the United Kingdom. But Birmingham is a city in England, and it was fantastic. I particularly love the multicultural setting. They said Birmingham is the most diverse city in the United Kingdom, and we saw all of that yesterday. We saw Malala Yousafzai, the Pakistani Nobel laureate. She now lives in the city of Birmingham, and she spoke on education and other issues, girls' rights, and a variety of issues. It was a surprise. Not many expected. In fact, nobody knew. The media did not know that Malala Yousafzai will be there last night. And we also saw a raging bull, which they brought it to us, an animatronic bull, and it was just also colorful. We saw Prince Charles, who declared the games open, representing his mother, of course, Queen Elizabeth II, the head of the Commonwealth. So it was fantastic. Personally, to me, it was a terrific opening ceremony. And of course, we saw Team Nigeria there in their fantastic attire. Not many were thrilled by what they wore, but I thought it was colorful, green and white, always very beautiful.
Yeah, it was a very, very lovely opening ceremony. The English, it's like they know how to throw a show. When you mentioned the London 12 opening ceremony, I shook my ideas. I watched that, and I particularly enjoyed that. Yesterday's own was put together by the owner of the Peaky Blinders show. So if you've watched that show, you know that the guy knows how to put things together. And yesterday, the show was amazing. The highlight for me was the show of the cars. You know, the car industry in Birmingham, the 72 different cars from over 5 decades. So it was a very
representing each nation and territory in the Commonwealth. Yeah. And even Prince Charles drove himself.
One of the Aston Martin.
He drove an Aston Martin blue. Yeah, that's what he drove into the arena, and he drove himself.
Yeah,
he wasn't chauffeured. He drove himself.
Wife.
Yes. Camilla Parker Bowles.
Yeah, it was a very good show. And for Team Nigeria, I love the green overall and I also watched the video of them dancing Buga. You know, they were enjoying themselves. I just hope that they keep celebrating like that till the end of the ceremony.
And of course, we had our flag bearers at the show. We know that our team captains are Nnamdi Innocent and Blessing Oborodudu, but the guys who carried our flag yesterday, because it always happens at an event like that, you will have a flag bearer. So our flag bearer yesterday were national javelin record holder Nnamdi Prosper, and the veteran powerlifter. She's also a world record holder in her category, Oluwafemi Ayo Folashade. They were Nigeria's flag bearers in the opening ceremony last night.
Yeah, we hope we'll be attending should be the end of it should be a remarkable outing for Nigeria, because witnessing that kind of a splendid and a well packaged opening ceremony draws is very, very attractive. And when you attend such, the organizers must have really done. In fact, I was wondering until I was told or learned that the person who did the packaging is a film director. I think it was a wonderful thing that they have put together. And when you
that's what you usually have in events like that. You get people that are artistic. For instance,
very creative. Right?
In Abuja 2003, the great Wole Soyinka was one of the directors of that event. And the guy who did Slumdog Millionaire directed London 2012.
That is what I could really notice in the whole exercise, and the whole depicts very, very meaningful. It shows the creativity in the whole exercise. And when you are attending such a colorful, you want to come back with something very, very meaningful. A souvenir to show that yes, I came, I saw, and I conquer. And hopefully we believe that that will be our portion going to this competition, that we will come back with enough laurel that our outing in that competition will even be more colorful than the opening ceremony.
Okay, so over 5,000 athletes are participating in this year's Commonwealth Games, and of course we are having record number of events. For the women, they will be participating in 136 events, and the men will be participating in 134. That gives us 270 events that will be participating in. That's really great. Even for the para athletes, they will be participating in 42 events, which is a record for the Commonwealth Games. So the gold rush has started. We hope that Team Nigeria will excel. We pray that there are no injuries, we don't have any issues, so that these guys can come home with the medals for us. And we're hoping that it will be in double figures. Talking about the gold medal, the most we have achieved at the Commonwealth Games was 11 gold medals, which we won in 1994 in Victoria, and that's in Canada, and then in 2010 in New Delhi, India. But the medals we won at the 1994 games was our most 11 gold, 11 silver, and 11 gold, 13 silver, and 13 bronze medals. So we didn't win that many silver medals at New Delhi 2010, but we won the same number of gold medals. It should have even been 12 gold medals, but one of our athletes failed a drug test in weightlifting. So we hope now that we will not have any issue of doping, we will not have any injuries, and our athletes can break that record which they set in 1994. All right, still talking about our athletes, and of course two athletes that we expect great things from. Talking about the world record holder in the women's 100 meters hurdles, Tobiloba Amusan, and the silver medalist in the women's long jump, Ese Brume. You know, there's sometimes you see all these issues, you know. Of course, as they say, success has got many parents. Failure is an orphan. Nobody wants to associate with failure. It's a natural thing, you know, it's natural. But personally, I think that even if somebody that you know, when the person falls on hard times, you should show empathy with the person. You're so concerned, you should be able to still support that person. If you are supporting a team and the team is losing, it doesn't mean that you should turn against the team. And if it is an individual, it doesn't mean that once you lose, everybody that used to be with behind you should go against you. And unfortunately in Nigeria, we tend to see that a lot. I recall when Anthony Joshua was winning. Anthony Joshua did not even need to tell anybody he's from Nigeria. The name, until you see his full name, Anthony Oluwafemi Olaseni Joshua. That's when you know that, oh, this guy is actually a Nigerian. The way he talks, he was born in Watford. He grew up there. He has nothing connects him to Nigeria, except he tells you that, oh, I am actually from Nigeria. But this guy is so proud of his Nigerian heritage that he has the map of Africa, and he ensured that Nigeria was specially carved out on that map of Africa, which he has on his shoulder. So you can clearly see that he's Nigerian, and he usually introduces himself as Anthony Oluwafemi Olaseni Joshua, telling you he is Nigerian and he is British. Okay, so but when he was on the rise and started associating with Nigeria, everybody was supporting him. But the moment Anthony Joshua lost, I was shocked at what Nigerians were saying on the social media. All sort of. Then, especially when he lost to Andy Ruiz, they placed them side by side and said, "Look at the kind of man that beat our Anthony Joshua," and all kind of nonsense was said. And some even went as far as saying it was because the federal government got involved in supporting him. That's why he's now failing and all of that. But at least he bounced back and won the next fight and reclaimed his heavyweight titles. And now he has lost. You don't have that many people going to associate with him because he's not a champion. But through thick and thin, you should support your athletes and your teams. That's what support is all about. The same thing with Blessing Okagbari. When she was winning, many Nigerians were, she's ours. When she lost, I mean, I started saying things like, Shebi they say, Warino they carry last. Blessing Okagbari don't carry last for Olympic Games. I'm like, what is all this Nigerians? Come on. It is that time that she's not doing well that you should support her and say, come on, Blessing, you can do it. Next time, there are some that do that, but several others will just start criticizing.
A few.
Now we're talking about Tobi Amusan and Ese Brume. I don't know, some like to just criticize and say all sort of things, you know, that Nigerians should not be celebrating the successes of Amusan, especially because she's our first gold medalist and world record holder, that the federal government had absolutely nothing to do with her success, so we should not attempt to key into it. I'm like, no, that's not true. Tobi Amusan, for God's sake, was not even born abroad. She was born here. Ese Brume was born here. These are girls that we know. They had all their early beginnings here in Nigeria, supported by the Delta State government and by the Ogun State government, and supported by the federal government of Nigeria through the Athletics Federation of Nigeria and through the National Olympic Committee. So there have been this argument on especially on the social media, some critics saying that the government has not done anything for them, so we should not be celebrating their success. But now the president of the Nigeria Olympic Committee, Habu Gumel, has revealed that the two athletes who excelled at the Just concluded World Athletics Championship, that they were on the sponsorship of the Nigerian Olympic Committee. He noted that the NOC, as an organ of the federal government, has placed Amusan and Ese on a scholarship program since 2018 with annual stipends till date. 2018, so they are winning now in 2022. Amusan just won a gold medal in the 100 meters hurdles at the World Athletics Championship, and Ese Brume won a silver medal. So, you know what we usually say here: success, you don't achieve it overnight. It takes time. So now they are telling us that even today they started supporting us, and these girls have been on scholarship since 2018. That was when they became seniors. I know I've been following their career since 2015, 2016, when they even went for the World Youth Championship. So the support has been even further back.
And even if we are talking about them winning now, and that is why the federal government has been supporting them. In 2018, Tobi Amusan got 2 medals at the Commonwealth Games, 1 gold in the hurdles and 1 gold in the relay.
Yeah.
So if we think it's just that made them start sponsoring them, no, it has been from the past. Even Ese Brume, 2014, I remember she got a gold medal in the Commonwealth Games. So these athletes have been doing well, and if success has a lot of followers, I think they have been succeeding for a long time, and the Nigerian Athletics Federation have been doing their bit to see that this athletes get to where they are supposed to be.
Well, sorry, let me read down what he has to say, then we will do the analysis. He said, working in concern with the Ministry of Sports, the AF and the AFN, that the duo of Amusan and Brume, that they are among 14 Nigerian athletes they have been enjoying and continue to receive NOC support till Paris 2024 Olympic Games. So they have a plan for them from 2018 to 2024. Then after that 2024, I'm sure they are going to review it again and say, okay, from 2024 to 2028 or something like that. So Abu Gumel said this: we have 14 of our notable grade A athletes under this scheme, and we have never failed to give them the training and school grants. There is need to pay for all the staff members of each top athletes, and that is why grants are essential. And that's true. They will have to pay their nutritionists, they will have to pay their doctors, they will have to pay their trainers, they have to pay their coaches, their physiotherapists, and everything. So he went on to say, and Abu Gumel went on to say that these are facts, but we don't have to roll it out at all times. But it is important to note that the AFN, NOC, and the federal government are working around the clock to boost the fortunes of the country's athletes who are our ambassadors. And independent investigations have revealed that Amuson and Brume have received about $36,000 in recent times, apart from what they enjoy as adopted athletes of Ogun and Delta states. So the governor of Ogun State adopted Tobiloba Amuson as part of the Adopt an Athlete initiative of the Honorable Minister of Youth and Sports Development. The Delta State governor also adopted Ese Brume. The deputy governor of Edo State has also adopted some athletes. So these are things that they are getting support, massive support from Nigeria. So it is not fair to say that, it's not even accurate to say that Nigeria has had nothing, absolutely nothing to do with the success of these girls.
I love the timing of this statement by Abu Gumel, because some Nigerians are out there, peddling their ignorance, saying that Nigeria has not done anything, that these athletes are, Tobiloba was trained in Texas and all that. When
she schools in Texas, it doesn't mean that she was she's training in Texas right now. But you cannot say that, and even the training that she's receiving there, who pays for it?
Who pays for it? So you know that when this information is out there now, everybody can just stop.
But ordinarily they don't even need to. The NOC does not even need to be revealing this, and that's what Abu Gumel was even saying. These are facts that we don't even need to be.
But let him set the second
projecting it. Yeah, but because of the misinformation out there, it becomes necessary. It's like a governor saying I pay salaries. I mean, you are supposed to pay salaries. So the NOC they are supposed to give them grants. They are not supposed to be coming out to say, they are on scholarship, we give them grants and all that. But because of this misinformation out there, it becomes necessary for them to come out to set this record straight.
Now I can remember when the money came that they said they were going to sponsor some athletes. Now, I think the federal government adopted, the state government adopted. I think we Nigerians should start to adopt that attitude of seeing something positive about the system, not just negative. If we estray the system, I think we allow our political affiliation or our lack of exposure of what is even happening in other climes to becloud us, that we don't see anything positive about our own system. It's just negative, and it has become an order in the system. Yeah, though I know that there will always be a deviant in any normal situation. You always find that some people will always try to develop something negative about the whole situation. Yeah, but I think it's not fair. It's not fair. It's something that we should always say positive. We said it as if we knew that so many factors must have been responsible for these successes that we are seeing these days, and going forward to so much more will have to be done for us to really attain that, consolidate on this success and achieve much more. So I don't think it's fair. I think that's just it.
As I always say, of course, we know that there are problems in the country. We know that there are very serious issues, and we should actually speak on these things. But
we should not lose our objectivity.
Exactly.
I think quickly, if we look at the Western, most of us have developed this. We have allowed this Western this thing to get into us to a level where we don't want to see anything. That's why most of our clubs we are not. In fact, this is the state that I discovered that Bench Day Insurance is even enjoying this kind of I mean in the West, I don't know of the northern states. They're enjoying this kind of support by the media and everybody coming together to really portray them in that. So we saw what happened to this guy at Amasigba. This
the media guy.
The media guy. So that's all over. We have allowed this Chelsea fan, Man U fan, this fan, and that other fan. We are not saying you can't have an interest, but don't allow it. It makes them not to see anything good about the Nigerian sporting arena or whatever.
Of course, we can do much better, but the little ones that we are doing right, we should praise it and really hype it up. And where we are doing wrong, we should call them, and that's what we do on this show. We call out the administration when they are not getting it right. But when they do it right, we should say, well done. And hope that normally you should not even be telling the government well done. As I said, you cannot be praising a governor for paying salaries. But unfortunately, sometimes it's important to say it, to boast that this governor has done this and done that. Because if you don't, the way Nigerian politics work, it's going to work against you when you consider the next election and all that. So maybe the way opposition works, we should try and review that so that we can hold ourselves accountable, but positively. And you don't have to run down your country just because you want to make a point. No, you should be patriotic. Look, I love Nigerians, and I know that they don't hate their country. When you want to know that Nigerians don't hate their country, is just wait for a foreigner to attack Nigeria. That's when you will know that Nigerians love their country. But let that patriotism, the green blood that flows in our veins, we should see more of it.
On social media, I've lost count of the amount of marriage proposals that Toby Amusha has got.
Of course. And anybody who dares to attack her, he will see the way Nigerians come against her.
I'm just saying.
All right, let's go on this break. We'll be right back.
Ovaltine, 3 in 1. It has great taste and yummy, full of nourishment and vitality, active bodies and sharp.
Start your children's day with the great taste of Ovaltine 3 in 1. Milk, choco, and Ovaltine for active bodies and sharp minds. Ovaltine 3 in 1. Smart choice for smart kids.
Hello? James, look, I'm on the expressway. My car just broke down. I don't even know what to do.
Sorry, you do not have sufficient credit to continue this call.
Oh, please, no.
Why not?
This is an important call.
Then you should have recharged.
I would, but I'm in a position where I can't.
Why not borrow some credit then?
Borrow credit? How?
With Glow Borrow Me Credit, you can borrow airtime and pay later. It's easy. Just dial *321# and follow the instructions.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Glow is always there for you when it matters most.
Sorry, James. As I was saying, my car just broke down now, and I have no help here.
Talk now, pay later with Glow Borrow Me Credit. Glow Unlimited.
Summer me one big container of that your Checkers custard.
Yeah, mommy, don't buy Checkers custard again. CHECKERS.
Checkers custard. Now this one be custard.
Honey?
Yes, dear.
I'm tired of the poor power situation. Every time I stock the fridge, I come back to spoiled food. I think it's about time we go solar.
How?
With Vertical Solar, we can have all our appliances and electronics powered by solar, and they allow us to pay small. We can pay installmentally with as low as 36,000 naira monthly, spread across 12 months.
Tell me more.
I know you like the idea of paying small. Vertical Solar range of products can power all household devices, including air conditioners and water pumps.
What are the benefits of solar power?
We are talking uninterrupted power supply, no monthly electricity bill, no more spending on generator, and no more generator noise.
I see. But how can I locate Vertical Solar?
Head now to 28 Country Home Metal Road off Ajib Junction, Sapele Road, Benin City, or Blossom Mall beside Stop to Shop stores, DBS Road, Asaba. Or you can call them on 0816-170-1105 or 0703-623-4843. You can also send them an email on info@verticalsolar.com.ng.
Vertical Solar, your lifetime power partners. Next!
Today now, another day. Why make you think say you don't date the same queue for 3 days? But you know see they go now. Don't allow anybody chance you. Because before you know, they go down find another queue for your front. You go come be chairman of Backbenchers Association.
Come out your mind, dear David, and drink a refreshing Sprite instead. Because when heat's day, you're supposed to remain cool.
My name na Inekus. Now me be Dr. Patchpatch for all tier money with my sellotape and razor blade. Anybody wey get money, when need life support for our yard, now my domot them they come. But from now, I don't retire from my Patchpatch work because of Momo Payment Service Bank. The new way to send and receive money, way better pass cash. Say bye-bye to tier money palava. Just dial *671# to open your Momo wallet today. The simple way to send and receive money to any phone number for free. Life is simpler because Momo is better than cash.
Welcome back to Sports Fiesta live on 92.7 KUFM, the necessity with me, Sali Ibrahim, the Sports Ibracadabra, Danny the analyst, and Adewale Akindano. Okay, let's talk football now, and we'll be looking at what Manchester United legend Gary Neville had to say about Barcelona. He has described them as a disgrace, and this is because of the way they are treating Frankie de Jong. After the La Liga giants, they announced that they had agreed a deal to sign Sevilla star Jules Koundé, and of course we know that they've signed several other players. So it appears they are saying they do not have money, yet they can sign players, and unfortunately they are owing Frankie de Jong. They've basically told Frankie de Jong that he has to be sold, or they will have to you have to take a significant salary cut before they can have him stay at the Nou Camp. They've already signed Robert Lewandowski, they've signed Rafinha, they've signed Andres Christensen, although he was on a free, and they've signed Frank Kessié, and now they've added Jules Koundé to this, and yet they are owing Frankie de Jong about $19 million, and then they are now telling him that he has to go because Manchester United are interested. Manchester United want to buy him, but because of what they are owing Frankie de Jong is insisting that they've got to pay him first before he leaves, and basically he doesn't want to join Manchester United. That's what he has said. Even if Manchester United are willing to offset the bills and everything, he is just not interested in joining Manchester United. So this is what Gary Neville said. An Arsenal fan said this to him. My guess, Gary, is that you wouldn't care about de Jong not getting paid if he wasn't linked with excuse me, Manchester United. And then Gary tweeted this: I actually don't care if he signs for United or not. However, it has highlighted a situation I've always been passionate about, which is employers and clubs taking the beep word out of workers and players and not paying them their due money. Barca are a disgrace to their great name. He went on to say, de Jong should consider legal action versus Barcelona, and all players should be behind him. A club spending fortunes on new players whilst not paying the ones they have under contract their full money is immoral and a breach. At Fifth Pro should be all over bullying like this and stop it. So this is what Gary Neville said about Barcelona, that they are not treating their current players well, and yet they have money to buy new players.
Yeah, I think we have said it here that he could put up a litigation, and that other players too should come to his cause, because you don't know if it's happening to one. There's an injustice to one, there's an injustice to all. What he has said is just to really highlight the whole situation, because sometimes we can be very careful the way we come to final conclusion on issues. When certain information are still missing, we don't really know what is transpiring between de Jong and Barca, because if I believe this is a matured man, who knows?
We know what's happening now. They want him to leave so that they will have more
if you
money.
want him to leave, I don't fight for this. I fight for those people who are.
No, but the problem is they are owing him.
Yeah,
he has played for them for years. They are owing him.
I know.
They don't want to pay that
of
money.
course, that's why
they
I
are looking
this
for a
man
way
is
to get
capable
out.
enough to really fight his cause. If that's the true situation, it's not like somebody who is not who is weak, whom we know is weak, vulnerable, and cannot really fight his cause. I like that kind of to put up a cause, be in solidarity with that kind of a person. But for him, I believe, like the Arsenal man pointed out, I think it's because it has something to do with the Man United. But for some of us who we are just neutral in the whole thing, but we could just perceive that it will be an injustice for them to treat this man this way, if that's the true picture.
For me, I'm standing. It doesn't make sense what Barcelona are doing, because it's like somebody trying to get a loan from a bank. After getting the loan, he goes out to buy a Lamborghini. You understand? When you say you don't have money or something, you are strapped financially.
Yeah, you should not be spending money.
You should not be spending money lavishly. You understand? And the crazy thing about the whole thing is those players that are signed, they have not been registered.
And if they do not sign, if they do not sell De Jong, they will not be able to register many of the players. And that's why now they are looking at, okay, maybe they force Andre ter Stegen out. They sell ter Stegen and then have some money. But De Jong is insisting that they have to pay him the money that they are owing him.
And this is when Barca were convincing these players to take a pay cut and maybe they'll be paid later, we were all applauding the players for showing loyalty towards the club.
Yeah, that was when COVID hit,
yes.
And it affected so many clubs.
So
and
now,
we even called out some clubs that were sacking their ordinary, regular workers, the staff. Some even had to stop paying their mascots.
Yeah.
The guy who wears the mascot, I'm like, come on, this is not morally right now. You have players that are on stupendous salaries.
Wages.
Why don't you talk about reducing those ones? Instead, you are taking the job of somebody that doesn't earn much and he has a family to feed.
Yeah, so those players now, they've shown loyalty towards Barcelona.
Yeah.
But right now, Barcelona felt they want certain things done, and they are trying to treat the players that maybe Frankie de Jong feels there's still a way he can stay at the club he loves. Obviously, I don't think he doesn't want to leave. So I don't know, but what Gary Neville said, some parts of it are true. Some parts of it are true.
That doesn't respect.
Well, it may not be. What he's saying now, it's not really affection for the club. He's saying, well, if you want me to go, you've got to pay me my money first.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. If you are being owed by an organization and then you get laid off, they have to pay you what they are owing you, especially if you did not do anything to breach the rules and regulations of the club. So we'll see what happens with Barcelona and the players that they are signing, and let's see if they will be able to get them registered. And they are now getting levers. They are activating different levers, and who knows? They say they are mortgaging their future, basically selling their future to pay for their presence. But we'll see how that works out. All right, talking about something that's a bit controversial, we understand that Ukrainian officials, they have condemned Turkish football fans who chanted Russian leader Vladimir Putin's name at a Champions League clash in Istanbul. You know, they are playing the qualifiers for the Champions League right now. So thousands of Fenerbahce supporters, they joined in the chant after their team conceded a goal to Ukrainian champions Dynamo Kiev. Ukrainian ambassador Vasil Bodnar said the incident had saddened him deeply. Dynamo Kiev won the match 2-1, having drawn goalless in the first leg played in Poland because of Russia's invasion. So this is what the ambassador said. We will never understand the words of support for the Russian killer and aggressor who deliberately kills Ukrainians and destroys our country. Even football, which is so loved in Turkey, has its limits. So the organizers of the competition, UEFA, they told the BBC that they've opened an investigation into the incident. The chant appeared to have been sparked after Dynamo Kiev's Vitaly Bujalski celebrated giving his side the lead by making an eagle gesture with hands, which some fans believe to be a nod to Fenerbahce's arch rivals Besiktas. So they were triggered.
And that is how fans behave. They will do anything to get at the other fans. But this smacks of insensitivity, because you are playing against a Ukrainian club and you know what that country has gone through. I know you want to get back at that player for. But
so instead you do something. Chant the name of Dynamo Kiev's biggest rivals. You could chant other clubs that are in Ukraine or something. Not now go and start chanting the name of the Russian leader, knowing what's happening in the world right now.
That would be the better way to get at the Ukrainians. But I think the Ukrainians, they did the best thing they could. They knocked Fenerbahce out of the Champions League.
I think that's a sweet revenge. But I think they should read the time. It's a dangerous thing. It's not a good thing to do at this point in time to embark on such a chant against your even if it's your rival. This is a war that has claimed so much life and so many properties, so many things destroyed. So they know that it's like giving a support to such a leader cause. I think it's not fair. It's not fair in any way. I'm sure the bodies who are responsible would, the body who are in charge would. They have taken up the responsibility to investigate and probably sanction those. But it's always very difficult sometimes, again, to control the crowd when it comes to crowd or group action. So it's always very difficult. It's one leader, one person will just start it, and you see
crowd mentality will just take over.
But there is still a way.
But they should also caution the players. I mean, come on. There are 1,001 ways to celebrate, especially when you are not from that country. You shouldn't be triggering the rivals of the fans of a club by doing something that symbolizes their greatest rival, knowing that they are not going to be happy about it. So, yes, they should sanction Fenerbahce if they are guilty of this, but they must not.
The player should be.
Yeah, the player should be. He should be sanctioned. Yes.
People take pleasure in taking your victory dance to the enemy.
That is how sports.
And they think that is what.
That is how sports is. That's how fans behave. Well, that's just it.
From both sides, I think there is need for caution.
You see some fans, they will be happy. For example, Manchester United fans, anytime Manchester City loses, they are usually
Liverpool is their greatest rival.
It's usually like that. So it's usually like that.
It's good to come out and so that at least that will stem the evil that might come out of this kind of action.
Okay, we hope that all of these things are tackled, especially that of Russia and whatever side of the fence that you are standing on. It's really, really important to know that several people have died, and you cannot justify the Russian invasion of Ukraine, no matter how much you look at it and feel that, okay, Russia has got to protect themselves, but people have died. So there should not be, the world will not be facing what it's going through right now, if not for that Russian invasion of Ukraine. We're talking about the Naira losing value, and I think it's now 700 and something to $1. But it is not only the Naira that has lost value. Even the dollar itself has lost some of its value. They say, from a report I saw, the only currency in the world right now that has even added value is the Russian ruble. And they said we thought that, okay, with the economic sanction and everything, the ruble was going to crash. In fact, Biden said the ruble will be has been made to ruble. But right now, before the war, it was like 75 rubles to $1. Now it is 53 rubles to $1. So the ruble has gained in value, but you have almost every other currency in the world collapsing. So it's a serious cause of concern. We know the biggest suppliers are Russia and Ukraine, and because of the war now, we have a serious grain shortage.
Yeah.
Especially in North Africa, they are suffering it severely. Even here in Nigeria, we're beginning to feel it. The price of bread has gone up, and everything that has to do with wheat.
With gas supply to Europe.
Exactly. Energy is a serious problem right now in the world because of the war in Ukraine. And when you do the analysis, in the final analysis, it will be that it was Vladimir Putin that invaded Ukraine. So he is at fault for all of this. So nobody should be chanting his name. If you want to do anything to, maybe you are close to Putin, instead, talk to him to stop the invasion. The invasion will stop today if Putin says stop. Yes, so that the world can go back to the way it was. We are here in Nigeria. We know absolutely nothing about the issues between them, but we are suffering the impact
the
of
inflation rates, everything, you know.
Brings to bear the casualty.
All right, nothing really big on breaking transfer. Somebody was asking yesterday, when will the transfer window close? It's going to close on the 1st of September. So there's still more than a month and a couple of days for the negotiation, the transfer window to close. So, but some of the stories reported by Fabrizio Romano, he spoke on AS Monaco. He said AS Monaco, they've had direct contact with Adrien Rabiot's camp weeks ago. That is one of the players in the list, but still no negotiations with Juventus, and there is no deal as of now. Then he says 2 deals completed in Serie A, and one of them involves a Nigerian. Atlanta, they have full agreement with RB Leipzig for Ademola Lookman, 15 million euros plus add-ons included. We know he was on loan last season at Leicester, so now RB Leipzig have sold him, so he's going to Atalanta. Slavia Prague, their talent Daniel Samieng, he will arrive in Italy in the next hours to join Lecce on a permanent deal. The contract is going to be until 2026. Then Fabrizio also says negotiations are ongoing between Benfica and Feyenoord for Fredrik Orsens. He is Benfica's top target for the midfield. He also says that well, this is a wish in the future. Talking about Juan Laporta, the president of Barcelona, he says he wants Lionel Messi back, and this is what he was quoted as saying, I feel indebted to Leo Messi. I'd love end of his career to be at Barcelona with a standing ovation in every stadium. I think we can make it happen. So you wonder, why did they let him go in the first place? And it was part of the things that Gary Neville is talking about. They had to they basically forced Lionel Messi to leave because of the financial stress that they were under. Lionel Messi did not want to leave. You could see how he was crying on the day that he said his goodbyes at the Nou Camp, and just because they couldn't afford to keep paying him that the amount of money that they were paying him, they had to just find a way to make him go. He waited until the last minute trying to stay. He said he did everything possible to stay at Barcelona, but they just did not. They were unable to make the deal stick. So for Marc Cucurella, he says that there is still no negotiation, no agreement between Manchester City and Brighton and Hove Albion as since stands. So Cucurella has been confirmed to Brighton staff again this week, and he said he only wants to go to Manchester City. So Cucurella's agent, they are in Brighton to negotiate, and talks will continue. For Chelsea, Fabrizio says that they are not accepting any bid for Armando Broja as of now, that Thomas Tuchel insists he wants to keep the player, so he's not happy with a permanent transfer. And the player himself says he will only go on a permanent transfer. He doesn't want another loan. West Ham United, who are managed by former Chelsea player Frank Lampard, they have tabled 30 million, Everton. It's Everton. Everton wants, managed by Frank Lampard, they want him, but West Ham United tabled 30 million, which was rejected. So right now, it is Everton that are in talks with Chelsea
and
to get him.
West Ham, they've moved on. They've signed Gianluca Scamacca from Sassuolo in the Italian Serie A. So.
Yeah, so basically he's still, Chelsea are still insisting that the player is not for sale. So see how that works out. All right, yesterday, the four-time Formula One champion, Sebastian Vettel, announced that he will be retiring at the end of the season after the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. And today, we are getting tributes from some of his former rivals, including, of course, two guys he competed seriously with, Alonso and Lewis Hamilton. So they have led the tribute for Sebastian Vettel. This is what Lewis Hamilton said. Lewis Hamilton, even after saying things in public, he then sent him a private message. He said that Sebastian Vettel is not just a rival, that he is his friend. And this is what he said. He said that Sebastian Vettel, just like him, has got very strong personal convictions, and he has used his platform as an activist to really draw attention to so many wrongs happening in the world in the world, using the platform of Formula One. This is what he said. I'm sad to hear he's leaving. I think he's one of the most impactful Formula One drivers who has ever lived, and I feel very proud to have been here in the same time he was. He is the most conscious. I like to think I am up there with him in terms of conscious of the impact we are having and what we can do with our platform. He has been such a great voice. I am really proud of him for that. Then he said this personally to Sebastian Vettel. Seb, it's been an honor to call you a competitor, and an even greater honor to call you my friend. Living this sport better than you found it is always the goal. I have no doubt that whatever comes next for you will be exciting, meaningful, and rewarding. Love you, man. That's what he said. Then for Alonso, who lost the Formula One championship to Vettel in 2010 and 2012, he was at a Ferrari then, and then the German was at Red Bull. He said this: 4 titles are not only a legend as a driver, but as a human being. He has very strong values and a very correct way of thinking. We will miss him. I will miss the battles on the track. Our careers were very close together, always together with Lewis. We miss one of the 3, but family and other things are probable in this decision. So I wish him the best and a lot of happiness. That's what the Formula One driver Alonso said regarding Lewis, regarding Sebastian Vettel. Okay, let's look at your messages now before we leave the studio. This one says, morning sportsman, what is the difference between Europe footballer and world footballer of the year? Okay, do you mean the European footballer of the year and the world footballer of the year? Those are from Ikbawahil. Well, so many differences now. One, it is the organizers are different. Okay, it's UEFA that gives the best in Euro awards, and then you have the World Football Governing Body, FIFA, giving the FIFA awards. Then there is another one which is organized by France Football, the Ballon d'Or, which is, it used to be only for the European player, but now it is for everybody. So it is a World Footballer of the Year award. So the organizers are different, and basically they use, I think the criteria are basically the same, but the organizers are different. Okay, and one is for Europe. So they cannot give a player that is based in Africa, for instance, the European Footballer of the Year award. It has to do with players that are based in Europe, playing their trade in Europe and playing for their national teams. Okay, so that's what they do. So for the World Footballer of the Year, it can be given to anybody, no matter where you are based. Good morning, KUFM. Efosa from Aduawa. from Roman Abramovich time and today, most forward players come to Chelsea not playing well. Look at Nicolas Anelka, Fernando Torres, many players like that. Diego Costa playing well at Chelsea, but left Chelsea for 2 years. Look at Romelu Lukaku. Now 5 players want to leave Chelsea at the end of this month. That's why many players didn't come to Chelsea, and that's what Barcelona I think you said that's why Barcelona are able to take players away from Chelsea. And then you said you are a Chelsea fan. Well, if you are a Chelsea fan, I'm surprised that you think that Nicolas Anelka did not have a great time at Chelsea. That's totally wrong. You need to go and check his record at Chelsea. Ibrahim, true change is the only thing constant in life, but I'm worried and saddened by the exodus of fantastic... Okay. Okay. All right, Tino, sir, I got your message. Good morning, sirs. Don't you think it is important that the athlete debunks the story and tell the fans she has enjoyed privileges from the country? This Dr. Sharif. Dr. Sharif, she doesn't have to. Has she ever said she doesn't enjoy privileges from the country?
Has she ever said she has been abandoned by Nigeria?
Exactly. So why should she? Why should she come out and start saying I've been enjoying? As we said, even the NOC, even they themselves acknowledge that they don't really need to say this, but just because there's so much disinformation out there, that's why once in a while they have to come out to say we are doing this. If a government is working, I mean, you will see it in the projects that they are doing now. They don't need to say, oh, we built roads, we built schools, we have a fantastic healthcare and all of that. You will see it. So you see the problem. The problem I have with some of these Nigerians is that whenever there is anything successful, that's when you see them coming out to start saying that, no, the government doesn't, or Nigeria did not do anything to support this person. Who told you? Who told you? You just assume and you start saying all sorts of things. Look, there have been serious issues in administration which we have criticized, right? Take for instance in 2000, the 2000 Sydney Olympics, Gloria Alozie, you know what happened? She competed in the 100 meters women's hurdles final. It was won by Oscar Shishigina. After Gloria Alozie won that race, and just days before, Gloria Alozie lost her fiancé. He was an athlete too, Hygienus, I've forgotten his surname. He was an athlete also. He died in Sydney. Like he was crossing the highway and he got knocked down by a car and died. And I was even thinking Gloria Alozie will not be able to compete. Somebody that you are going to get married to after the Olympics was killed in an accident. At the same Olympics that he was competing in, he had already been eliminated in his own race, but he had not left Australia at that time. Right? So that thing happened, and Gloria Alozie she competed in the final just a couple of days after she lost her fiancé, the person she was going to get married to. And no Nigerian official celebrated with her. They just basically abandoned her. And some of them were grumbling that she should have won the gold. Like, who are these ones? Do you even know what it takes to participate at the Olympics, to even qualify to participate at the Olympics? Somebody was saying, oh, she should have won the gold. So they just abandoned her.
Instead of being grateful that she even came out at all.
At all to compete. Somebody that just lost her fiancé. She after the Olympics, she said, and they left everything to her, that she was the one that fought to bring the body home. They just abandoned her. And you know what happened after that? She left Nigeria and started competing for Spain. No, Spain. Okay, yeah. She now switched allegiance to Spain. So it's not like we are supporting the officials and whatever. There have been times when they have behaved in such a manner that you were like, what is happening? How can people be doing this?
2 days ago, we called them on the shirt stuff.
Sorry, I wish we had more time, but we've got to go now. We've got to go. We need to blow the final whistle on the show right now.
We are in good shape at the moment, and I believe we will do well in Birmingham. Individually, I have been training on my own, and I am confident about our chances. Nigeria's top-ranked player in women's table tennis, Fatima Bello, talking about the chances of Team Nigeria at the Commonwealth Games 2022. And that's the final whistle on Sport Fiesta this morning.
Others are packed. We'll see you at 4 p.m. on a fresh edition of Sports Fiesta. Thank you very much for listening. I'm Sally Ibrahim. I've been doing this with Danny the Analyst and Adewale Akindano. Bye-bye.
Biko, nyam Checkers custard. Ona masyo mumu nkuku. C-H-E-K-E-R-S. Checkers custard. Utoya maka.
Trying to get or receive information through all corners of the globe requires